This episode is brought to you by Pure Energy Apothecary, a woman-owned skincare and wellness brand founded by my friend Dawn Lancaster. Dawn and I go way back, deep diving into essential oils. We shared a passion for creating intentional products, just like the ones Dawn continues to craft today with Pure Energy Apothecary. When Dawn said she wanted to offer you 20% off Pure Energy products, I was thrilled. Pure Energy products are handmade in Vermont with ingredients you can pronounce, and they smell amazing. They are rooted in real aromatherapy. Visit pureenergyvt.com and use the code PURECHANGE for 20% off just for being a part of the Change Happened community. Pure products, pure purpose, pure energy. Welcome to Change Happened, Then What? Where in Season 2, you'll hear voices drawn here by one thing: change. Each episode brings you a story of hope, unpolished and unfiltered, where stories got messy, where people questioned everything, but also where they found a way forward. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find your own next steps in their words. Because when life breaks open, that's often when the most beautiful truths finally have room to grow. I'm your host, Heather Holt, and I am so happy to have you here today. Before we begin, I want to share a brief content note. In today's episode, there is a discussion of physical abuse. Please take care while listening and honor whatever you need as you move through the story. Peter had what many people would call the life, the career, the relationship, the friendships. He was building the future he had always imagined, one step at a time, with purpose and momentum. And then it was gone. Not slowly, not neatly, but in a way that left him asking questions no one prepares you for. How does someone lose everything they work so hard for? How does a person find themselves inside an abusive relationship without realizing it? And how does having it all turn into homelessness in what feels like the blink of an eye? Today, I want to introduce you to Peter Ho, a wellness practitioner originally from Hawaii, now based in Southern California. This is a story about going from everything to nothing, and about what it takes to find your way back when the ground beneath you disappears. This is Peter's story.
I'm originally from Hawaii, and I decided to take a leap of faith 3 years ago to actually move to California. I've actually been in the health and wellness industry for a very long time. I graduated as a kinesiologist.
I want to pause for just a moment, because Peter's work today is rooted in a field that not everyone is familiar with. So in case you're unfamiliar with the term kinesiologist, here's what it means. Kinesiology is the study of human movement and how the body functions as a whole. A kinesiologist will look at how muscles, joints, posture, stress, and even the nervous system work together, and how imbalances in one area can affect the rest of the body. The goal is to help people move better, feel stronger, and restore balance, not just physically, but often emotionally as well. And for Peter, this work isn't theoretical, it's personal.
After some time, I got tired of Hawaii, beautiful as it is, but I got tired of it. Decided to go to California, followed the girl, and I thought it was it. I thought that was it. But as the time goes on, I soon learned the true face of somebody. I've learned that You won't know the person's true face until issues come up and things come on. I never thought that this would ever happen. Honestly, having someone who had a mental health disorder really scared me a lot. Someone who had schizophrenia and bipolar disorder really made it tough in the relationship. I thought that I could help. I thought I could be the one that could fix things. And then it got worse.
Before I go any further, I want to be clear about something. I am not a doctor, and I am not a mental health or medical professional. What I'm sharing here is not a diagnosis or medical advice. It's just context, and it matters to Peter's story, and it's important to talk about with care. The person Peter was in relationship with was living with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So let me explain what that means. Schizophrenia is a serious mental health condition that can affect how a person thinks, feels, and experiences reality. It may involve hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, or difficulty distinguishing what's real from what isn't. And bipolar disorder is a mood disorder marked by extreme shifts in mood, energy, and behavior, moving between periods of depression and periods of mania or hypomania, where judgment and impulse control can be deeply affected. And here's what matters most. Both of these conditions can be managed with proper medical care, therapy, structure, and support. People can and do live very stable and meaningful lives. But in Peter's relationship, they weren't being managed. And when serious mental health conditions go untreated or unsupported, it can lead to intense emotional dysregulation, sudden shifts in behavior, volatility, confusion, and breakdowns of healthy boundaries. It can also create a dangerous dynamic because Peter didn't see himself as someone who needed saving. He saw himself as someone who could help. He believed that if he just showed enough compassion, enough patience, enough understanding, things would get better. But instead, the relationship became unsafe. Disrespect turned to control, instability turned to fear, and eventually Peter found himself being physically abused by the very person that he was trying to protect, the person that he wanted so desperately to love. This is where Peter's story shifts, because loving someone should never cost you your safety, and staying should never require you to disappear. So before we go any further, I want to pause again for just a moment. In the next part of Peter's story, he will be sharing some details about the physical abuse he experienced. If this is something that feels heavy or activating for you, please take care while listening, whether that means to pause, skip ahead, or coming back at another time. Your well-being matters here.
She had an episode which caused a manic attack. I have never been burned in my life. My whole back was burnt. Crowning irony. You should never use it as a weapon. I was stepped on. I was spat on. Could give a dang of what's going on because I wanted my life to end. It was really tough. The relationship really taught me a lot of things. Never let someone abuse you. And when it starts, you walk away because you don't know what that abuse will affect you in the future. Sometimes you have those PTSD moments where you're too afraid if someone hits you. Not intentionally hit you, but sometimes it's just joking hit. And sometimes it can trigger back memories. And that relationship lost my self-respect to myself.
Not only did Peter lose his sense of self-respect, but he also lost his financial footing. What began as emotional erosion left him deep in financial debt and eventually without a home. At his lowest point, Peter tells me there were moments when he felt like his life no longer mattered. Moments when the weight of everything he had lost became so heavy that he no longer wanted to be alive. And as painful as it is to say, this wasn't the first time Peter had struggled with those thoughts. He had faced them before, earlier chapters of his life, marked by the same quiet question, do I matter enough to stay? This time, though, something was different. At rock bottom, stripped from certainty, safety, and identity, Peter had no choice but to dig deeper than he ever had before. Not to fix everything, not to be strong, but to find himself again. And in that process, he uncovered something he had never fully understood about himself. something that had followed him for most of his life, quietly shaping how he saw his worth, something that may have been standing in his way all along. Give the gift of calm. Dear Sweet One lullabies are personalized, astrology-inspired stories set to soft, soothing music, each one handcrafted to bring peace and connection. Whether you're welcoming a new baby, searching for a meaningful gift, or simply craving a moment of stillness, these lullabies are a beautiful way to say you are loved. Visit changehappenedpodcast.com to order yours today.
I've always wanted to be perfect. And perfection is something that you can never achieve because no one's perfect. You can live the perfect life that is in your eyes. So a little bit different when it comes to being perfect. So, some of it was from my parents, but it really taught me that sometimes you just gotta be like the best version of yourself.
As Peter began to look more honestly at himself, he uncovered something that had been quietly shaping so many of his choices, a deep desire to be perfect, and underneath that, a powerful attachment to his ego. In that relationship, perfection wasn't just about safety or control. It was about image, about how things looked, about who he believed he was supposed to be, and together they could play that role. From the outside, it appeared intact, even successful, and that fed Peter's ego, reinforcing the belief that if it looked right, then it must be right. Staying became a way of protecting the image. But when Peter finally left the relationship, he didn't just walk away from her. He walked into a reckoning within himself. Because without the relationship, without the performance, Peter was forced to confront his ego head-on, the part of him that needed validation, approval, and perfection to feel worthy. And in that uncomfortable space, something unexpected happened. He began forming a new relationship, not with another person, but with his own sense of self. A relationship built on honesty instead of appearance, on awareness instead of performance, on self-respect instead of survival. He began to understand that there is no such thing as perfect. There is only truth. There is only reality. And there is the choice to meet yourself where you exactly are, not where your ego says you should be. And that realization became a turning point, because for the first time, Peter wasn't trying to save someone else or prove something to the world. He was learning how to stand in his own worth.
Things happen for a reason. The people around me now are so much more different. And the way I kind of see it is the people who are in my life, who deserve to be in my life and deserve my time, I call them my family. The people surrounding me now is a lot older than me, and I've meshed really well with older people. I know I can't say that I'm not proud to be with the people I am today. I'm very proud of every single person that's been in my life, proud of every single person that helped me get out of that time and live the life I am now living now.
Peter and I talk about how different life feels for him now, how incredible it is to be on the other side of that chapter. He shares that the people in his life today are there intentionally. They lift him up, they see him, and just as importantly, he shows up for them in the same way. There is mutual respect now, a sense of balance he didn't have before. I asked Peter what his life looks like today, and he tells me he's currently a tennis coach, a sport he's been connected to since he was a young child. Alongside that, he's building his own practice in health and wellness and motivational speaking, where he helps people restore balance in their bodies, particularly through hormonal health, while reconnecting with strength, stability, and trust. Peter is Vietnamese, and because he speaks both English and Vietnamese, he's able to share his message across cultures and continents, reaching people who might otherwise struggle in silence. You can learn more about Peter under Season 2 guests at changehappenedpodcast.com or by checking the show notes below. But before we wrap up our conversation, I asked Peter my 2 favorite questions. First, what keeps you smiling today?
I'm in the business of helping people in their health, enjoying the life that they want. I help people live the lifestyle that they want. That's why I get up out of bed every single day is is how many people can I help each day?
And listening to his answer, it makes complete sense. Peter gets out of bed every day to help someone else. That's always been his purpose. He just needed to find his way there for the right reasons. Then I asked him the second question. What words of wisdom would you like to leave us with today?
It's okay to start over. Starting over is using all that knowledge and wisdom that you had in the past book or past chapter in your life and writing a new one. So it's totally okay to start over.
It's okay to start over, and it doesn't have to be from scratch, just from the lessons you've learned along the way. That's a powerful message for Peter to leave with us, and one I can relate to deeply. I've found myself starting over more than once in my life, and what I've learned is this: when I take the lessons with me, when I stop repeating old patterns, I feel more at peace inside, and far less concerned with what others see or think about who I am. And if you're hearing this today, I hope you find that same sense of peace too, the kind that comes from choosing yourself, from learning, from letting go of who you thought you had to be. And if you know someone who's struggling with this, or someone who might benefit from hearing Peter's story, please share this episode with them. Sometimes the smallest act, passing a story along, can be the reminder someone needs to keep going. If this episode spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to visit changehappenedpodcast.com to join our monthly mailing list. It's also where stories like this continue, with blog reflections, more about each guest, and ways you can support the show. And if you've got 30 seconds, leaving a review or 5 stars helps more people like you find stories like this. Think of it as paying for your coffee at the local coffee shop. Change Happened, Then What? Is written, edited, and produced by me, Heather Holt, with the loyal background vocals from my 2 sidekicks, Waylon and Dalton. Until next time, keep smiling, and maybe let your dog produce your next big idea.
There's always a reason to always choose joy. There's something deeper that the world can't destroy. Smile when you think you can't. Smile, get up and dance. Smile, there's a bigger plan. The storm only lasts for a while. So smile.